Hi guys, in today's tutorial I want to show you how you can build this super cool mob farm that I developed with the use of slime blocks. It produces a ton of mobs and will cover all the needs of mob drops that you will ever need. And this is actually pretty cheap in my opinion. All that's expensive about it are actually the slime blocks. So let's have a look what you need to build one segment of this farm. You need, of course, a few building blocks, a few half slabs, then 16 leaves or other non-movable blocks, 44 slime blocks, that's the expensive part, but if you've got a slime farm, that's no problem. Then 12 redstone dust, 4 redstone torches, 4 comparator, 4 repeater, 4 sticky pistons, 2 tripwire hooks, and 46 tripwire. That's also the amount of spawn spaces in each segment, so 46 per segment. And then if you want to, you can hook up a lighting system to light up the farm, and therefore you would need 26 redstone, 4 redstone torches and 4 redstone lamps. And then you can stack this farm up as big as you want, because that will determine how many mob spawns you will get. The more spaces you give the mobs to spawn, of course, the more drops you will get. So you can't really tell how many mob drops this farm produces, because if we just make this as big as we want, we'll get the maximum amount of mob drops from this, but you will find your own ratio for that, how many spawning floors you want for your farm to produce the amount of mobs that you want. So I think let's just get started with the tutorial. You want to get things started with your central block, and from there count out 11 slime blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do that in both directions. And then on the end, we want to place down the tripwire hooks to build out by 2 blocks like this. Place the tripwire hook so it's not over the slime blocks. And then where that is, we want to place down the redstone behind. So start with a comparator in subtract mode. That will bring the signal from the tripwire hook into this block where there's a redstone dust behind. And then that will go into this block over there, and this will then go into a 2-tick repeater, which will create a little bit of a clock here. And then we want to go down by 1 block and over, so we can place down a redstone here and a redstone torch. And this redstone torch will then power a sticky piston, which is sitting right here. So this would retract the slime blocks. Now, of course, we need to make this a little bit spawn-proof, so place a slab on top of each of these blocks. Mobs can't spawn on the redstone and repeaters and comparators anymore, so we are totally fine with that. And then repeat the same clock design on the other side. Once you connect this with string, you can already see that this is working. The shifting floors are pulling away and will drop the mobs down that spawn on them. And then what you want to do to provide spider spawning is come to the center, build up by 1 block, and then over in both directions. And then every 3 blocks you want to have a non-movable block like leaves, because that will provide spiders from spawning in your farm and breaking it. And then once those are in place, you can make a little bit of a decision, because you can actually disable the farm with lamps, but if you don't want to do that, just put a line out of half slabs across like this. I will build the design up that you can disable with lamps now. So what you want to do for that is come to the center and build out blocks until this 3rd leaf from the center, so over to here, and then there we want to place a redstone lamp, and then you can just run redstone on top of these. Make sure that you've got redstone on top of the lamps too, so they are spawn proof. And then we can just start a little bit of a torch tower here, so get yourself some redstone torches. And now you can see that this lights up already, and that would just continue and connect to the next floor. And now what you can do is go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Just leave 1 block gap in the center and then start building up the same contraption facing the other direction over here. Once you've got that in place, you can stack those up on top of each other or build them next to each other, and there you can place those pistons right facing each other, so you have the minimum amount of blocks in between and can make this as compact as you can. So I will stack those up to the top now at first. These are now already 10 cells stacked on top of each other, and remember, the more of these cells you build, the higher the rate of your mob spawning will be. So what I will do for the purpose of this tutorial is rebuild this 2 more times, 1 time on this side, 1 time on this side, so we have 30 cells in total, and that should give us a decent output for a mob farm. Once you're happy with the amount of spawning platforms that you've built, you can go ahead and put a roof on top of this farm, because only with the roof this farm will produce the amount of mobs that you will want to have. So the roof needs to be extended 15 blocks over each edge of a slime block. So from here count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, 15 in that direction and also in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on in that direction. So it's always the lowest possible light level inside. Talking about light levels, of course, if you're having the torch tower here, the torches will always provide a little bit of light to the inside of the farm. So on top of this block here, so right there, there is a light level of 4, so 3, 2 and 1. And on those 7 blocks here along this side, witches can't spawn because they need a light level of 0. And then same goes of course for this redstone torch, but for all the other mobs, the redstone torches don't really matter. It doesn't increase the spawn rates or decrease the spawn rates by a lot because of this low light level. It's just for the witches where it gets taken into account really. And then of course you can hook up a little bit of a system for your torch towers if you've got those to light up the lamps. And for me, I have a bad system here. I've got just levers that I all need to flick. You want to bring this out to the side and connect it up so you have a single switch for this. It lags now a little bit because of all the light updates inside, but now you can see that this farm with the few spawning platforms that we do have here already produces a ton of mobs. For some reason there is still light updates happening over here. I think that's because I'm recording. But in the end, you will get a ton of mobs falling out of this farm that you then can kill. And the easiest way to kill those is to go down by about 43 more blocks. If you want to be on the safe side, do 45. And then put down a floor that will kill all the mobs, because of course Enderman can spawn in this farm. As you saw maybe there, I don't know. Let's see if we can catch one. There was an Enderman, and those and the witches need a little bit more height than the other mobs to die, so 45 blocks from the lowest floor is what I recommend. Put a floor out of half slabs, hoppers underneath, and then of course make sure that you not only do that under this stripe, because in theory mobs could only fall down in this row here, but practically they push each other because of their new hitboxes, and so they might vary a little bit in the blocks that they fall down in. And then you can just kill them, collect the mobs, and have a ton of mob drops from this farm. So that is all I can tell you about it. That's all you need to know. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, then feel free to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share this video with your friends. And I hope then to see you in the next video. Until then, have a great day.